What's up? Kris Krohn here, and welcome back. Today we're talking about the living benefits of life insurance. Some of you are like, man, why are we talking about that? I'm telling you right now, if you want to make millions of dollars in the game of real estate, then you're going to want to know how to funnel money through insurance. So instead of just earning $1, you can earn $2 or more in the benefits. It's all coming your way right now. So I'm joined here with Rob Gill, who is the owner, founder of Epic Insurance. And I have to tell you, this guy knows his stuff. He's been freaking crushing it. And here's what you need to know. In the insurance game, there's so many people that play it the wrong way. We play it for wealth. We play it for keeps. And so by the way, if you're interested in learning how to, hey Kris, show me in this video how to maximize my wealth. I want to invest in this. I want to invest in a business. I want to invest in real estate. I'm always going to pair it up with insurance. Because if you don't, you're just gonna trip over and miss out on all the benefits that it actually has, right?
Absolutely, 100%. And the benefits that we talk about from a living standpoint, because we all want to live a long, healthy life, right? Statistically speaking, you know, the actuarial science has us living into the 70s. So as we're funding our insurance, buying real estate, you know, through the strategy of using the insurance as a turbocharger, things can pop up in our life that are unexpected that isn't about leaving this mortal coil. So it could be about disability.
Rob, some people have already got to be confused. They're like, dude, what do you mean? It's about death benefit. It's not, what do you mean a living benefit of life insurance? You crazy, man. I'm like, because people are probably thinking of term life insurance.
Yes.
But you're telling me there's a way to actually leverage insurance to supercharge your investments.
Absolutely.
And get a living benefit, a today benefit, not a when I die, I pass something on benefit.
Yes, exactly. So there's certain riders and policies, these living benefit riders, that allow you to stay on the same course of using your cash value to buy real estate. Even if you became, God forbid, if you became disabled for whatever reason and you're not working anymore, these policies pay for themselves, which means your cash value can always be used to buy those alternative investments in real estate, even if you become disabled.
So Rob Gill, before you can really teach us about the living benefits, I just want to understand the big picture, right? Term insurance is cheap. There's a whole life version, which is a lot of extra money, but instead of going towards your death benefit, all that extra money can be like a bank account. You put money in and you can take it back out and you pick up benefits.
Yes.
What are some of the benefits?
Yes. Well, the living benefits would be you're protected from disability, right? You could use the money for alternative investments while it's still earning a rate of return inside the policy. Put it to another investment, have that investor earn a rate of return while the rate of return inside the policy is, and now you got two rates of return.
Real quick, break that down one more time because they can't miss this. This is so important when $1 is earning in more than one place at once.
So as you're building up your cash value in your life insurance, and I'll just use a hypothetical number, let's say there's $50,000 in there, and you want to take 25 out to go buy a piece of rental real estate. That 50 is still earning a rate of return in the policy, even though you borrowed from the insurance company to buy the real estate. Now the renter would then pay back that 25 that you borrowed for the policy. So now you're picking up an internal rate of return and an external rate of return while your real estate's picking up 4 rates of return.
Guys, just to kind of create some clarity for you on this, I started these policies, I think 12, 13 years ago now, where I basically said, hey, I've got all this extra money, all this cash flow from real estate. What should I do with it? And I thought, I'm going to put it back into real estate. But a very wise individual turned me onto this strategy. And I said, well, before I put it in real estate, I'm going to pass it through my living benefit life insurance. And I started picking up some benefits. Yes, I started earning multiple rates of return. But I also noticed, and I want to see if you can verify this, my understanding to date is that money is pretty untouchable. Like, you can't really litigate money out of the life insurance policy. So money that I have there, it's really safe.
Yeah, so from a standpoint of the legalities of that question, it's a great question and something should be researched. That's always by state specific. So every state is different in that space. Typically speaking, what Kris is talking about, and you always want to double check and triple check this, is basically if you get sued, your cash value has a layer of protection that it might not otherwise have if it's in a checking or savings account.
Yeah, so I've got the layer of protection, but I also then have the dividends. And
part of the living benefit strategy, because let's say all these good folks turn out to be, following in your path and are buying multiple different properties, and unfortunately along the way, something comes their way where they get sick. They don't have to fall off that path because the certain riders in the policy allow the things to still be paid for by the insurance carrier and use that money for those other investments, even if they're not feeling well.
Guys, here's the bottom line that I want you to be aware of. If you want your money earning as much as possible, then don't just linearly put $1 into your investments. funnel it through life insurance, and then you're going to pick up a benefit from the insurance. Plus, once you put it in the investment, it's sitting in both places at once. You're actually picking two benefits. There's so much more to it. But for those of you who are like, man, I want to understand that better. And if I'm going to be doing business or investments, or I'm going to buy real estate, if I'm going to do it anyway, then I might as well do it in the most intelligent way possible, because most policies don't work this way. You can click the link below and actually have a chance to actually connect with Rob Gill, his team, and they'll do a free consultation and actually even run scenarios based on your situation and show you the tangible benefit, actually show you how much more money you can have, how much better your life will be versus not doing it. And I'm telling you right now, it makes sense to do it every single time.
Absolutely. And Kris, to talk about a little bit when you mentioned term at the top, right? Term insurance is the biggest winner, and double check all my facts, with the insurance carriers. Why? Because people 99, 98, 97% of the time outlive the term.
Yeah.
So that is something that, millions and millions and millions of people are spending $30, $40, $50 a month for a death benefit that 99.9% of the time aren't going to get cashed in because they outlive the policy. So if we understand that the insurance carrier understands gambling at a high level, statistically speaking, about the health of average men and women across this great state of ours, this great country, I should say, now all of a sudden if you play into the space of understanding, okay, what does this look like versus whole life?
Yep.
How does this play in versus whole life over the long term? Not over 1 or 2 years, because if you do plans for 1 or 2 years, anything in life, it's not the smartest way to invest anyway, so you want to go long term. And as you go long term, what begins to happen is this money begins to work like think of a rocket that's being dropped in a lake, and then you see the ripple. Within the wake of the ripple, the waves, lies the magic of life insurance.
You know, guys, I've been using my life insurance for years, over a decade now, to actually fund my different real estate portfolios. And I'll take the money and I'll buy real estate, and then the money will come back and I pay it back.
Because you're disciplined.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's a great place for me to sock money where I can continue earning a great dividend. So for me overall, it's a triple win.
Yes. And that gives you the family protection as well, and the litigation protection that you talked about. Plus you get the guarantee, you get the internal rate of return, right?
Stupid. Do you see all the different benefits?
The external rate of return, and it's like a Swiss Army knife.
Yep. So today, guys, we've been talking about the benefits of living insurance. If you've never heard about it, you don't know what it is, click the link below, get with Rob and his team, learn exactly what that looks like, learn what you've been missing out on, because if you're intending to be wealthy, then there's likely some things you need to be doing right now, and you don't want to regret it when you find out later what those things should be. And the reality is, I've been using many of those tools from the beginning. They've helped me create and establish my wealth.
Yes.
And I'm only getting more and more of those policies. In fact, I just created another one a couple of weeks ago, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
So, friend, this is available to you. It's in the link below. And Rob, thank you for being here today and sharing the living benefits.
Love it.
It's incredible.
I love it.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom and knowledge.
Yes.